Y'all know before we ask them out for likes out there. Hope you guys having a blessed day. Make sure you subscribe to that notification bell so you don't miss an upload. And they got Jaliyah with her mom, royalty, confirming in this video that she's in fact dating a girl. Now, a lot of people was in my last video saying, how do you know she's dating a girl? I believe it's a boy, this, that, and the third, etc. But let me tell you something. I have discernment. I'm able to think pragmatically, and I can see past the deception. And believe me, that was in fact a girl, and it's confirmed in this video. But let's get right into it. I ain't gonna waste no more time.
As you guys know, parenting does not come with an instruction guide. You just basically got to live life and experience things. And, you know, we've all been on this earth only one time. So how do we know how to, you know, live life without going through things or experiencing things? And
one thing I'm going to say to royalty in this situation, we're all able to give our own opinions and perspectives on things, but I believe in Yahweh. And I know at one point she really abstained from sin altogether and didn't indulge in certain things of man tradition. But there are instructions given to us. Just like a car comes with a manual, what gas you're supposed to put in, that's a diet. You're supposed to get the oil change, it's going to, get a checkup basically. And we have the same instruction manual, and that is the Bible. But let me pull up a verse or two about this, right? I'm gonna put it up high because I don't want it to be blocked out. In Ecclesiastes, right? It says 6:18, my son, gather instruction from thy youth up, so should I find wisdom to thy old age. Gather instruction from thy youth. And guess what that instruction is? It's in righteousness. So if we go to 2 Timothy right quick, right? Let's pull this up. All scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof. That means you're supposed to be looking at people when they do something wrong. You're supposed to tell them, hey, this is for correction, for instruction in what? Righteousness. Righteousness in the ways of God, obeying the law, statute, commandments of God. Now, when you go into this as well, what it tells you, Proverbs 22:6, train up a child in the way he should go. When you train someone, it's no different than somebody, grinding in a sport to become the best that they can possibly be and enhance their abilities. It's the same way with righteousness. It has to be trained. It has to be something that needs to be worked on day in and day out. Remember, the Bible also states to examine yourself daily. That means each and every day you're supposed to be examining yourself. So I do not agree with that aspect. Now, that's her perspective, but when it comes down to God and what he has given us on this earth and his son Christ is to bring into remembrance of everything that he's done through the Holy Spirit. No, I do not agree with that.
So basically, as you guys know, Jaliyah has
a girlfriend.
I
love her. If you're seeing this today, I love you.
Oh my God. Hopefully it's just a base for Jaliyah. I don't know what this is, but just know as a parent, I'm never going to judge my kid for something that you really don't know, but then you do know, but then you don't know. Like I said, I've already explained to my kids certain things. Like, I know you guys seen her Q&A when she asked me, didn't you ask me
first of all, y'all getting this
wait, hold on, wait.
It wasn't my question, it was somebody else's question.
So something like that, and I just basically, you need to F around and find out on your own. Like, as parents, you can always direct your kids in the right direction, and you never know, like, they're not always gonna follow your instructions. They're always not gonna, do what you want them to do. But as long as you're like guiding them in the right way and telling them things, then hopefully they will grasp that same energy. And
that's one thing. Directing someone and training someone is two different things. It's like Venus and Serena, right? If their dad just brought them to the tennis court every day, I'm gonna bring you out here so you guys can play because I know you guys love to do it, and I'm just gonna watch. No, he trained they butts off. They had to grind. They had to do blood, sweat, and tears each and every day. And I mean, he pushed them to the limits. And that's the same thing that has to be done in righteousness. And another aspect that I'm going to bring up with that so you guys can see. Let me see if I can pull this up right quick. All right, let me see if I have it here. Let me pull this up real quick. Withhold not correction from the child. Meaning, it's not about just directing them. That means that correction has to be corrected. And a lot of people thinking, oh, that's first, you know why? You got that new age way of thinking. It's man tradition, vain philosophy, holds no values, anecdotal. It makes no sense. There's no validity to it. But with God, God is always going to hold us to a standard because for us to truly believe in Him, it has to be something that we have to literally excel and push towards gradually, each level, exercising the senses, right? So, for if thy beatest him with the rod, he should not die. You know what that means? Do not spare your child discipline. The reason why the world is trying to, exclude that and trying to demonize those types of things because they don't want your kid to truly be raised by you and respect you and your values. That's why in this new day and age, a lot of people are having children that are just going left, literally doing whatever the heck they want to do. We have to get back to the true values. The Bible states that there'll become a time when people will not endure sound doctrine anymore. They have itching ears and suitable teachers to suit their own needs, their own lusts. You got to be careful with this. That's what I always say. Be careful when you're dealing with these types of things. All right, let me cut this back off. Let me get right back to the video. All right, let's get back up in here. Let me fix it.
But like I said, kids are kids. Jaliyah's almost freaking grown. Something that I cannot freaking believe. That's
I know, guys.
that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm not kind of like harsh with her, because I'm glad Jaliyah at least can come to me and talk to me about her emotions. Before we even did that Q&A, Jaliyah had asked me a questions and I kind of like figured it out on my own. She was like, would you disown me if I liked girls? And I just like, no, why would I disown you for something that you like or something that you're experimenting?
See, that's your time to provide correction. That's your time to not withhold back your discipline. So when she would have said, "Oh, would you disown me?" I said, "No, it ain't about disowning you. Number one, I do not have that belief system. I believe in the Most High, and the Most High does not believe in that. He does not accept that. He also considers it an abomination. So that's what be my preference, because I will do the will of God, and you don't use your own interpretation because the Bible's not open to private interpretation, right? So one thing I am going to say: do not lean on your own understanding. You're supposed to lean on God's understanding. That's the time for her to say, you know what? Who do you believe in? And if you believe in the same God, then you should know that the Most High, the Ancient of Days, the Majesty on high, does not agree with that lifestyle. That's all you got to say. Let the Bible speak for itself. That's the instruction manual. That's what I would say.
Or something. Maybe you're just going through this phase. But no, I would never disown any of my kids if they choose something that I don't direct them in the right path. It's something, like I said, they have to find out on their own. And hopefully Jaliyah will choose the right path. Choose the right path that I've taught her. Like, of course, a woman's supposed to be with a man and a man's supposed to be a woman. It's not supposed to be the opposite. But
and just so y'all know, I see y'all comments on Instagram or whatever. Yes, I have dated multiple boys before, and I don't know, it just didn't work out for me.
So like I said,
she knew about that.
I've known about.
It's funny how she's a young lady, and number one, your brain ain't even fully developed until you're 25 years old. Let me just. So at the end of the day, since you're saying she's almost grown, you can talk about basically she's dating a girl and all this aspect. She can come on camera and speak on these things and, and say hi to her girlfriend, etc. But like I said before, when it comes down to the allegations and it's Jaliyah's story to tell, if you can bring this to the internet, I believe that Jaliyah should be able to bring out or speak on it, and she don't got to go into great detail, but at least give certain words because she's almost an adult, right? He said she's almost grown. That's her. Let her learn from her own mistakes. Let her, date a female basically. And to be honest with you, I don't like that way of thinking because a lot of parents nowadays, your kid ain't even old enough to drive, drink, and nothing of that sort. But you allow them to make a permanent decision in their life while changing their sex or taking certain medications to alter what they are. Yeah, but then when you tell them, oh, can you vote? But you can make a permanent decision in your life. You wonder why these kids grow up and they actually be more liable. They're basically more prone to self deletion, and that is a statistical fact. But like I said before, if she can come on YouTube and speak on her sexuality, who she's dating, and she's almost grown, let them live their life, make their own decisions because they're gonna F around and find out, then she should be able to come online and address certain things also without any, scrutiny from you as her mother. So in that aspect, we just need to make sure that it's across the board and it's just not subjective to just one particular subject.
About everything. You guys are just new to everything. Just because I don't come to you guys about every parenting situation or asking you guys for advice, when is the last time you guys had a degree, or you guys are not like, psychologists? You guys are not somebody that I'm going to keep running to ask you guys for advice when I'm just a parent of my own going through this stage of having my kids grow up. Like, as you guys can see, Jaliyah is literally, like I said, she's growing up. So like I've said, how I feel about the whole situation, like I said, I'm just glad that Jaliyah is able to come to me and express her emotions. And like she said, she's dated guys in the past and she just feels like it didn't work out, or she felt uncomfortable, or she just felt like they don't get her emotionally. So, I mean,
Yes.
I
Yes.
can't really explain, but she's gonna explain a little bit more of that on her channel, where she's gonna be doing like.
One thing I'm going to say as well, she's young in high school. Of course, you're going to have failed relationships. Nothing works out for individuals, like that, generally speaking. Now, you do have some very special cases where people tend to be high school sweethearts. I mean, sweethearts and end up growing up together and be married and etc. But you're gonna go through ups and downs. You got grown women that can't even get their situation right. So just because they can't get it right with a man means to go the other direction. That shouldn't be the case. And that's why I always say you got to make sure that you have peace, love, and a sound mind. Let the Most High's will reign supreme. But let me know what you guys think about in the comments. And I'm up out of there.